talking about these crazy people, right? And so Amarath was watching my video,
9 times out of 10 figure out.
And so then pretty much Amarath goes and says that the people that are doing that need to go live in LA where the fires are, right? That's pretty much what it is. I'm not really going to repeat this. Now here's...
Amarath kind of looks like a dude. She doesn't have any makeup on.
Really the big difference between myself and a lot of people that are my detractors is that I have no problem calling out, saying that that's not a nice thing to say, it's a bad thing to say, you shouldn't say that.
See, on the other hand, I do have a fear of that, so, like, I just don't say anything. I normally just, like, chill and be super duper quiet and just kind of, like, I show it with my face, and I just let people decipher that. That's how they figure those things out. Like, how I'm feeling about things.
And so the big problem that I think a lot of people have with, and again, yeah, we can't incite violence. I have tried to make a conscious effort to not support or promote people that, or promote things that incite active violence, right? And that's it.
See, on the other hand, I feel like we can promote violence. It's just what kind of violence? Probably ultra violence, difficulty on Doom. And I think that if everyone played Doom on ultra violence difficulty, they would know that it's really hard, especially if you've never played it before, and that could solve a lot of our problems.
It's a bit much, right? And so anyway, this is the big difference between myself and the people that criticize me. Is that the people that criticize me and the people that complain about me all the time like to make excuses for other people that are on their side inciting violence or saying that people should kill themselves or anything like that. Violence is big bad. It is. And so the difference between me is I have no problem saying that that's bad, right? Maybe Amarath has a bad day. I disagree with what her opinion is, but, you know, everybody's going to have whatever opinion they want, right? That's it. That's a straw man? No, it's not. It's not a straw man. When one of their when one of those people, and this is Hassan also had a lot to chirp about me as well, because he saw this clip and he had to give his take as well. And so it literally is. These people really try hard to justify advocating for violence, doxing, threatening, putting bounties on, and just in general being violent. This is not good. It's not good behavior. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what it is. But some people think that it's okay if they're on, you know, what they would consider the right side of history. So we'll go ahead and we'll watch these clips. Obviously, you know, I take 1 day off. I take 1 day off. And this is...
Asmin, you said, dude, you can't take any days off, bro. Like, I haven't been watching you very long, but I've seen quite a few streams where you're like, you can't take any days off. You need to do this shit all the time. So, I feel like if you took a day off, then you got what you got coming to you, dude. Because you said so yourself. Never take days off.
This is what happens.
Natural being part of the deplatforming campaign, etc. I know this is drama, but I wanted to make people and well-meaning streamers who I like aware, like Mike from PA and others.
How can you call Mike from PA a well-meaning streamer when he was the one who threatened to beat up Destiny and put a $100,000 bounty on Destiny? How can you possibly call him well-meaning when you're making a post criticizing somebody like this? Again, like...
I don't know who that is. I think I might know who it is. I think Destiny's that streamer guy that was like into blowing guys or wanted to get blown by guys. I don't know. I think he's super lame, but I think that's who they're talking about. But I can't be sure because I don't really watch this shit that much.
Like, listen, this is the problem. This is the problem. This is the problem that I think a lot of people have. And Hassan isn't saying this, by the way. The person who he's reading their tweet is saying this. I'm not blaming this on Hassan. My point is, though, people fucking hate this hypocrisy. They hate this blatant, unfair, bullshit hypocrisy where you can call a piece of shit that is putting bounties on people for $100,000. Are we having we effing? Why are we having effing? There's no Fs. Yeah, what are you talking about? Of course, you don't blame Hassan. The reason why I'm not blaming Hassan is because he's literally not saying it. He's reading a message from somebody in chat, right? Here's the difference between myself and a lot of the people that criticize me, is that it doesn't matter how unfair they get. I never stop being fair. Because the moment that I stop being fair is the moment that I no longer have any integrity. It's the moment that I'm no longer the person who is, on the right side of things. So,
See, I don't have any integrity, so I don't mind being unfair. I'm only fair mainly to myself. To my wife and kids, I'm not really that fair. I like try to seem like I'm pretty fair because my arguments are all pretty logical, but really I'm kind of being a little bit of a dickhead, but I do it in a nice way. So it seems like I'm being fair, but really I'm just kind of getting my own way.
that's always what it's going to be, right? And I'm always going to try and do that. Now, I might make mistakes, right? Everybody makes mistakes, but I try not to make mistakes.
I've seen Asmund make steaks. He makes a lot of steaks. I think they're $5 steaks, he calls them. Yeah, I've seen him make steaks. Everyone makes steaks.
My point, though, is that the problem is, like, how the fuck do you say somebody is well-meaning when they put a bounty out on somebody that they don't like? Insane. Fucking crazy to say that. Hold yourselves accountable before you try to hold other people accountable.
Right-wing streamer radicalism. Step 1, go to Hassan's house. Step 2, get divorced. Step 3, watch Asmongold once.
That's all it takes.
No, it's... I promise you. I promise you two things. One, if there wasn't such a fucking high density of hogs that were looking for hog content, right-wing content... What the fuck's going on with my camera today? If there wasn't such a high density of hogs that were like literally looking desperately for some kind of hog content on Twitch, which led to a massive amount of people gravitating towards Asmongold and Asmongold getting like fucking 50K every day doing right-wing commentary, none of these...
Bro, he's not doing just right-wing commentary. He does do a pretty decent amount. I'd say, from what I've seen lately, maybe half the videos, but there's a lot more of that shit going on right now. That's what's hot in the news right now. So it's like, if you're covering the news and what's going on day to day, that's like a pretty big majority of the stuff. Not to mention Trump won the popular vote, so most people want to see that kind of news. No one gives a fuck about Biden anymore or Kamala or any of those people. So that's just what's going on day to day. So that's what you're gonna see, and that's what he's gonna cover some of the time.
If you think that the people who are watching this clip and think that it's weird are hogs, I feel like 80%, 90%, like if you show this clip to an average American, a Walmart American, they're going to think these people are fucking nuts.
These people are fucking nuts. I'm not sure how long ago it was, but I think a pretty good majority of these people would have been in mental institutions, but I don't think they do that anymore, at least not as much as they used to. But yeah, I mean, if you feel that your brain is supposed to be in a different body that's the opposite gender of what you currently are, then that would be a mental issue, right? So there's something mentally wrong with them, right? Or is it physically wrong with them? I think it could go either way, right? Either it's mentally wrong because your brain is in the wrong body, or it's physically wrong because your body's on the wrong brain. I don't know. Maybe if one day we could swap the brains, that's what we should be focusing on, if you think about it. Like, forget about surgeries where you're chopping off your dick and inverting it, or I don't even know how they do the female to male, like building onto your vagina. Instead of doing that, we should just focus on full brain transplants. That way, the females that want to be males can be a legitimate male, and the males that want to be female could be legitimate females, right? And then they probably will get laid a lot more too, because you won't have to trick people, or do your best to convince someone that you're whatever gender you want to be, you'll just really be that gender. So like maybe we should just focus on um, full brain transplants or a full. We shouldn't do a head transplant because then you would still have like a male or female head on the wrong body type. It wouldn't really look right. But if we could do the whole brain, I think we'd be in a pretty good spot. I think everyone would be happy, right? Like me personally, I'm not attracted to trans people. Um, so and even if it was one of those trans people where like you can't tell, it's so good you can't tell. Once I knew, I'd be like, no, it's just not gonna happen. But if it was just the brain implanted into a female's body, that's fine. I think that would be cool. Yeah. If the brain was in a female's body, I could hit it. I think everyone would agree. Anyone that has problems with trans people will probably agree that if we could just take the whole brain, and I'm talking like people that are, let's just say that that's the only thing that's going wrong in their head is that they're just in the wrong body type. If that was the only issue, if you could put that brain in the right body, I think everyone would be willing to hit.
This isn't a extreme hog opinion. This is the general consensus. It's not even. I don't understand. Like this is, and again, I'm not even defending what Amarath is saying. I disagree with what Amarath is saying. But to say that my content is eliciting these reactions, I don't think that's fair.
To a massive amount of people gravitating towards Asmongold and Asmongold getting like fucking 50K every day doing right-wing commentary. None of these motherfuckers would do this, okay?
Bro, I don't think that's it. Asmon's just more entertaining. From what I've seen, Hassan mainly does political commentary, and also he's rooting for the least popular side. Asmon does a mixture of stuff, and it's just entertaining. He says some funny shit from time to time. He cracks me up. So like Hassan, I don't really find him entertaining. He seems like he's taking things way too serious. He's not having a good time. You know what I mean?
They just wouldn't. That's it. For a lot of people.
What Hassan is saying is that the reason why people are saying the things that they're saying now is because I've proven that these opinions are popular by the amount of views that I get. And I think that is accurate. And so basically, but
bro, it's not just the amount of views you got, dude. It's the turnout of the election. Like, really, who gives a fuck? If Asmon wasn't here, we would still know just based on the results of the election. The guy got more votes. It's that simple. Like, so that's the more popular candidate. That's the more popular side right now. Not everyone has to be Republican to vote for a Republican. And it goes the other way as well. But that wasn't the case this time around, right? So this is what's hot right now. Biden was a fucking huge letdown for everybody. And the fucking media is covering up that guy doesn't know where the fuck he's at. And I think a lot of the people on the left were either in complete denial that he didn't know where the fuck he was at for years, or the media just fucking lied to him and they just fucking drank the Kool-Aid, didn't ask any questions, and just assumed he was fucking fine. He wasn't fine, dude. The guy was having so many fuck-ups, dude. Remember when he fucking fell down Air Force One and he fucking would say like he was saying all kinds of fucked up shit that didn't make any sense for years. And it's like, if you get into these little fucking liberal echo chambers where they're not going to show you that shit, then I could see how you're going to fucking believe that. You got these like social media sites that are heavily censored and they skew everything towards the left. So you're not going to see that kind of content. And then you got the mainstream media that's also guiding people towards the fucking false narrative that Biden was doing great, best health of his fucking life. And then you have other people that are fucking willing to just turn a little bit and maybe look at some other sources, not the traditional sources. And the people that did that, they were very well aware that he was fucking gone up here. He definitely was not running the country. He wasn't running the country for years.
But the alternative to that is that people are censored and they can't have the opinions that they actually have. They can't express them because they're afraid of getting banned.
That's another thing too.
Basic.
That's another thing too. That's why a lot of these people are stuck in these fucking echo chambers, because even if they want to speak out, they're instantly silenced, or at least they were. Like definitely during Biden and COVID, and just after that in general, like fucking Reddit. Huh. Go on Reddit and go to our politics, dude. It's nothing but fucking bitching about Trump 24/7 and anything that has to do with Republicans. Republicans can't do anything right unless they're fucking rhinos that really aren't fucking Republicans. They're like fucking closeted Democrats voting with them on everything. And it's not just our politics. That's just like the best example, because obviously it should be a wide spectrum of fucking content from both sides that should be unbiased, but it's not. It's fucking heavily biased. And it's like that in anywhere you go on Reddit. You can go to something that has nothing to do with fucking politics. You could be in a fucking Minecraft subreddit and say the wrong thing, or even hint that you were against the vaccine when that was the topic, or hint that you were, leaning towards Trump, or you're a Republican, and you get fucking insta-banned. You could visit a particular subreddit and log in to Reddit the next day and find out you're fucking banned from all these other subs that you never even fucking heard of, but they put on some fucking bullshit filter that said, oh, you happen to visit this fucking particular sub? Well, then you must be a fucking hardcore right-wing Nazi automatically. We're going to go ahead and ban you from all these subs right off the bat. No questions asked. And good luck trying to appeal that shit, because they'll just fucking laugh at you.
Basically what happens.
It's not like a genuinely held perspective. For many of them, they just don't care. It comes from a place of like, I don't really give a shit.
Right. He's right. Most people, and this is true with a lot of gamers and like people that are streamers, not everybody is involved in politics. And you see this with every election. There is a huge contingency, like somewhere around 20 to 30% of the population that's eligible to vote does not vote. This is true.
Really necessarily give a shit about politics, but I see that this is like getting clout. And the perfect example I can give you is when the most prominent voice of politics on the platform before this last round was myself. Back then, did you...
Oh my god. I would say Hassan is still the most prominent voice for politics on Twitch. Like, I cover politics and a bunch of other stuff. Hassan primarily covers politics. Like, that is the primary focus of his channel.
That's why he's fucking pissed off, dude, because Asmon's getting a shitload more views, and he just covers it from time to time, like half the content. And like I said, it's only because it's what's hot right now, right? And this guy's like fucking... He's on the wrong fucking team, so he's definitely not getting views for that shit. And he's also just getting stomped out by Asmon, who's like a fucking casual to the politics. So yeah, I can see why this guy's a little fucking burnt out, maybe a little butthurt about it.
That is what he does. Like, I've never gone and done this, like, he's number 2, I'm number 1. I don't see it that way. I don't know why. Like, I guess people in his chat are mean to him. I'm not. I don't do that. I think it's ridiculous.
I agree. It is ridiculous. I never do that either. I don't say that he's number 1 or Asmon's number 1. I just stick with me being number 3. And they can fight over first and second place, but I will be number 3. And I won't use Twitch, because I've been using Twitch for a couple weeks now, and it fucking sucks. I really can't stand that platform. Fucking sucks balls. The fact that you can do a whole fucking show and maybe get a couple viewers, and then that's it. Like, oh, sorry, you're not live, so ain't nothing gonna happen on your fucking channel. That's bullshit. That's why I was watching one of Asmon's older videos where he was just like, dude, you got to move to YouTube because you'll get views when you're not live. And it's like, that's a big fucking deal. Because 75% of my day, I'm not live, right? So, yeah. Anyways, I'm going off on a tangent.
That's so just yeah. That's how I
Think
feel.
that every single streamer was hyper woke. I mean, there are plenty of streamers who were, but
I think that he brings up a good point here. What he's saying is it's the power of suggestion and the power of consensus. It's actually just what I was talking about before about how Reddit existed. And basically, what he's saying is that a lot of streamers felt more confident and more comfortable expressing woke opinions because that was the way the culture was. But now that the culture is shifted and people have seemingly changed their opinions and the consensus is different now you have people that aren't expressing those opinions as much because they're afraid of backlash. Now, what I would counter this with is that both of those groups of people are equally disingenuous and they're both doing and saying things that are just simply to fit in with the group. Now, you can say it doesn't really matter, but it's important to keep that in mind. And also, the reason why people were like hypothetically like super woke back then, like maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, is because not being like that caused you to get banned off of the platform. So you can't really compare the two things because back then there wasn't even the option to have another opinion. You couldn't even say anything different. So obviously when you ban everybody who disagrees with you, you're going to be on a platform of people that only disagree or that only agree with you. Like that's just how it is.
Yeah, it's called the fucking echo chamber.
there were a lot of streamers who didn't necessarily give a shit, but basically played ball with that kind of politics. I
Yeah,
think
they would make comments and say things that were positive towards woke stuff because those streamers. The reason why though is because those streamers were doing the same thing that Starbucks, they're doing the same thing that Target was doing, or anything else. Like people need to stop thinking about a lot of these bigger streamers as like individuals and start thinking about them more as brands. Is
Just like fucking any game company that has a fucking Pride Month and yet they have competitions or fucking shit going on in the Middle East. Like, I think it's BMW. Like, there's this fucking funny meme where it says Happy Pride Month, and it's like the Twitter accounts for like BMW, and it's like BMW US, fucking pride flag for the logo, BMW Europe, pride flag for the logo, BMW South America, pride flag for the logo, BMW Middle East, just fucking straight plain BMW logo, no pride flag.
that these people are brands and they're trying to say the thing that's popular with the most people. So they're trying to have the opinion that is going to get them more viewers, that's going to make people like them more. That's it. Like you? Well, I don't know. I mean, you could go back. Like, the thing is that you can say like me, but like you can watch videos that I made in 2014 where I say the same things that I'm saying now. Right? You can go back and watch videos of me saying like in 2020, right, with the George Floyd riots, or like January 6th. Like I said the same thing then I'm saying now.
You can't find videos of me from that time. 2000 what? 14? I don't know what the fuck I was doing. 2014, I was out fucking partying, drinking, hitting up bars, clubs. 2020, I was working from home. The fucking wife and kids, not going out, not going to clubs, still not streaming. Probably making some Metal Gear conspiracy videos.
I've never changed my narrative about hardly anything. I think if anything, January 6th is a little bit different because, like, I originally didn't think it was that big of a deal. That I watched some of Destiny's coverage, and Destiny, I think he made a pretty big a pretty good argument to January 6th being worse than what my initial impression of it was. And we're not going to begin an open debate about this, right? This is just I'm just expressing my viewpoints and how it's evolved over the time. But
My January 6th for me, I didn't think it was a big deal. I'm sure there was a bunch of people that were acting like fucking idiots. But I also think there was a lot of federal agents in there that were stirring up trouble. And I also watched live streams that day, lots of live streams of people that were there. and what they were doing. And I didn't see anything too crazy. I mean, I did see a couple fucking parts where it's like super crowded, people pushing, pushing back against the police. But I also saw people just fucking minding the velvet rope as they walked through the Capitol. So, I mean, it was a fucked up situation. And if anyone did anything like super duper wrong, well, then, yeah, they should be punished. But if you're just arresting people just because they were there, and you're like tracking their cell phones to show that they were there, and that's how you're arresting them, not necessarily knowing like they committed some sort of really heinous crime, then I think that's pretty fucked up. Like, just being there doesn't automatically make you guilty of doing something wrong.
But that's because I learned more about it, right? But anyway, of course, people had these opinions because those opinions were what got them more brand deals and they got them more money. It wasn't because they had these opinions organically. It's because the people that weren't allowed to have those opinions were banned. That's it.
Yep, and that's why you had a lot of people move over to Rumble, and Gab, which is like a Reddit slash Facebook slash Twitter alternative, because they were being silenced everywhere else. Like, you couldn't say anything against the status quo, or you were instantly fucking silenced. Let alone fucking making money off of it. Like, god damn, there were so many people on Twitter that were like just ultra liberals, fucking spouting off fucking bullshit daily just to say the right word so that they could get fucking paid. And now, once fucking Elon bought that shit, dude, they don't fucking, no one's listening to them. Their fucking comments are full of fucking people just hating on them, and their fucking accounts are just fucking dead. They've left. There's been so many people that are like, I'm fucking done with this racist fucking platform. It's fucking over. I hate Twitter. And then they fucking come back like 2 months later, like fucking, who was it? Fucking Stephen King. And then there was what else was there? There was some other shit. I think it's called Blue Sky. We're all moving to Blue Sky. Come on, guys. And then fucking Blue Sky got fucking blown up with pedophilia like fucking in a day because they started censoring that shit when Elon bought it. When he fucking bought Twitter and turned it into X, they started censoring all that shit. So they're like, you know what? It's been a few months, but we need to find an alternative platform where we could just fucking be ourselves and not worry about all these fucking right wingers. And then as soon as they found their own fucking platform with Blue Sky, they're like, hey, by the way, fucking child porn's back on the menu, boys.
A lot of people in this community, because we're so intentional and so hyper aware of politics,
Yeah.
assume that content creators in their fucking communities of rather apolitical people don't just like swing in every direction.
He's right.
Simply because, that gains them more prominence. Okay.
I think that's a degree. There's a degree of that is true. Is that people will try to generally echo the consensus of the public. Most people, and like you saw this, I think a really good example about this, and like Hassan can probably agree with this. I don't know if he would or not. Is that the way that when the Israel-Palestine thing happened, like October 7th happened, every celebrity was rushing out to give a take on it. But then a lot of them, like, remember like Justin Bieber, who like said, pray for Israel, and then he posted a picture of like Gaza, and it was like destroyed, right? So a lot of these celebrities are just trying, and streamers are the same way, right? That's the point that I'm making, is like they're only trying to have the opinion that's popular. That's it.
Yeah. Like fucking recently when what's that fucking chick's name? I think it's Selena Gomez. Selena Gomez tried to come out and be like, they're fucking deporting my people, and she thought she was gonna get so much fucking support, and like fucking people just shit all over her. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? It totally backfired for her. But yeah, no, I know what Asmon's talking about, and it's like, yeah, you'll always get people like that. Always. There's always someone that's, oh, what's popular? What's the right thing to say so that I can impress the audience or impress most of the people most of the population will be on my side if I say this, and I'll get some goodie points. And when I was fucking on Reddit, I remember the first time I said something. So like, I've been on Reddit a long time. When right before Trump announced he was running to become president in 2016, if you went on Reddit's politics, our politics, if you went on there, it was like a shitload of people that were wanting Trump to run. They knew he was going to announce it soon. Everyone was, most of them were real fucking positive on it. And then Reddit fucking shut that shit down. It was like, nope, nope. And then it was like fucking overnight, they were just fucking getting rid of anyone that had anything to do with Trump. And he's a fucking Nazi and he's this horrible fucking person and just fucking all the dirt they could find on him. So then people made their own fucking subreddit just for Donald Trump called the Donald. And they were like, they got so fucking big because, like I said, a majority of the people in our politics were for Trump. They got so big making their own subreddit just for Donald Trump that Reddit had to like fucking skew their numbers to like reduce the amount of people that were on that sub. Like it was like, I don't remember the exact number. I could be completely wrong, but if the reality was that they had like, let's say, 1 million people sub to it, then they cut it down to half of that. Or if it was 10 million, they cut it down to 5 million. Like they fucking just dropped the number one day and they were just like basically changing the algorithm that was reporting how many people were subbed to that. And that was like the only place that you could say anything positive about Donald Trump on Reddit without fucking getting banned. And like I got banned from so many subreddits for saying the wrong thing. Like I wasn't one of those people pleasers where like, oh, I have to say the right thing or people aren't gonna fucking like me. My fake internet points are gonna go away. Like I'd talk shit. I'd say shit that pissed people off. And it wasn't just to be an asshole. Like you would give someone a fucking fact and they'd be like, nope, get rid of this fucking guy. We don't want to see this shit. Like basically they don't want the fucking rest of the echo chamber to know that there's anything against their status quo. Like what was it? They had something like, oh, Trump is a fucking guaranteed Nazi. But he also like visited Israel. He was like, he won some award with like I think there was a picture of him with like Rosa Parks, maybe Oprah, and like Don King or something else, and like other shit that he's done, or maybe it was Muhammad Ali. Anyway, they're just like, nah, we can't show that shit on here, dude. You're gonna you're gonna wake up the woke crowd and let them know that there's like a fucking whole nother side to this that they're not seeing. So they just fucking insta-ban you. And I had like so many Reddit accounts because I'd be like, dude, seriously gonna fucking try to silence me? Fuck that. That would just piss me off. And I'd be like, all right, fuck it. I'll just make another throwaway and use fucking a VPN, and I'd be right back on there talking shit. Like I'm not a people pleaser. Like I'm gonna say what's on my mind. If you don't like it, oh fucking well. I'm not worried about fake internet points or making everybody happy. You know, especially in a fucking echo chamber. Like that's not reality, dude. That's why every fucking election there's like large chunks of the population that are just so fucking surprised that Trump won. How is this fucking possible? Like in 2016, oh, Hillary's got it 99%. Hillary's gonna win. It's like fucking 99%. There's like less than 1% that Trump's gonna fucking win. And then he won, and everyone's just like, what the fuck? What the fuck, dude? How the fuck is this possible? Well, you're in a fucking echo chamber, and they're feeding you bullshit. And they're hoping that that bullshit's gonna be enough to change people's opinions on how to vote. But people aren't that fucking dumb. Like, yeah, there's definitely a lot of people that are that fucking dumb, but not a majority of them. So most people, we didn't have to say anything. We just knew who to vote for, who wasn't a fucking career-long politician that was just going to continue to fuck us, and we voted for that person.
And so yeah, that's really it. Yeah, Bieber L. Yeah, yeah, exactly. And so like that's actually accurate. Searching for
That is
views.
it.
Yeah.
In many circumstances, that's precisely what's going on.
Yeah, and I think also, I think it's reductive to say that to an extent also, because you have the component of platform bans. Like, there were people that got platform bans for having opinions that were problematic, right? Like, I think obviously Destiny is an example of that. Like, I would say Aiden Ross is an extreme example of that, who, by the way, apparently people said Aiden Ross got unbanned or he didn't get unbanned. I don't know. Like, he's tried to rehabilitate his image, etc. And so, like, that's really the way I see it in a lot of cases. But he's also trying to shame your community. No, no, yeah, I mean, sure, right? I mean, obviously, he doesn't agree with a lot of things that I say, and so he's going to be, upset about it. But anyway, the point is that, yes, consensus does matter. So this is a video that I did, and there's a two-part. This is one part. This is the second part. This has 81,000 likes with 500 dislikes. The idea that like this content isn't popular or like this isn't the consensus is insane. And I would argue that I don't really see a lot of people that are producing content that is in favor of these types of people, that is receiving this level of consensus and this level of feedback. The reason why what I'm saying is popular and the reason why people watch these videos is because they agree with them. And I think that it creates like there's like a symbiosis, right? Where
It's not just that people agree with him, dude. It's the fucking clickbait fucking titles on every video. Just like this one. It just says what the fuck is happening for this video. Well, I guess I gotta watch if I'm gonna find out what the fuck is happening. Like, is it really that interesting? No. But you gotta watch. There might be some funny shit in there. There might be something happening important that I gotta fucking watch. But really, no. People are watching the video because you have a fucking thumbnail of that fucking, I think it's a female, but she looks like a fucking clown. And you got titles that are like, oh my god, the fucking world's ending. So yeah, people are gonna click on that. It's clickbait.
you have me putting out an opinion and then people agreeing with it, which makes me, who is putting out opinions, more well known. And then it's like a multiplier effect for all of that, right?
Yeah, but your opinion, it's not like it's just Asmon's opinion, right? I mean, it's a pretty popular opinion. Even before he said anything, there's already plenty of people that feel this way. Trans people are like a very, very big minority, and for the most part, it's like the squeaky wheel gets the most grease. They're just a very small minority that is very loud, and the media gives them attention, and social media gives them attention, and they have their echo chambers too. So yeah, that's why you're hearing so much about it. But in reality, dude, it's not really that big of a deal.
And so anyway, that's what's been happening a lot. And what's this here? Because it's obvious truth. Yeah, I think that the idea that like
Oh,
thinking that these
Jesus.
people.
Look at that fucking thing. Like, if you see that fucking thumbnail and I mean, any clickbait title with that fucking thumbnail, you're going to click on it and be like, what the fuck? The title could have been like, fucking clown loses her shit in court, and you would have clicked on it. Or fucking Marge Simpson on meth, and people would have clicked on it. Like, it's not that it's some popular opinion. It's just fucking a clickbait fucking title and a thumbnail like that. People are gonna wonder what the fuck is going on. Like, I'm not gonna watch this shit when I want to watch something like super interesting. This is like fucking dumb content. I'm like at work during the day, and instead of having the radio on in the background, you have this fucking thing in the background playing, and that's what you're watching. It's not because I'm like, oh man, I really agree with every this guy's opinions. I'm gonna watch this. It's fucking great content. It's just like, okay, it's something to have in the background. It's kind of interesting. I might laugh a couple times, but like if I want something really interesting, I'm gonna be clicking on something where I'm learning something, like either some fucking software tutorial on like fucking Photoshop or After Effects or something on history, or like fucking some conspiracy theories, or what else? Fucking Bigfoot or UFOs, like anything like crazy like that I think is just like super interesting. That's what I'm gonna click on if I want to really just sit down and be entertained. But like, this is the kind of shit I just leave on in the background, and not when I'm going to sleep. Like when I'm working, it's just fucking, it's background noise. You're kind of watching it. It's entertaining a little bit, but it's not like fucking, oh man, like I gotta watch this shit every fucking episode. I gotta watch it. Mm-mm.
People aren't crazy.
You're giving yourself too much kudos there.
Like, you play this video,
Yeah, look at that face.
like, what
Jesus.
percentage would you guys guess would watch this video and think to themselves, holy shit, these people are nuts?
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm saying. Like, if I don't know what this chick's deal is. Is this chick trans? I'm pretty sure that is a biological female, and she's still dressed as a female. Maybe she's just in support of the trans movement. I actually saw this video, and she says there's like some shit wrong with her, not just dysphoria, but like she says she has, I think, autism and some other shit. But that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, if we could just figure out the brain transplant situation, most people would still bang. But this is one of the ones where, like, if this was a dude and we were able to put the brain into a female body to make them feel like they're in the right body now, you probably still wouldn't hit it because they're still nuts. There's still something wrong with them.
Like, I would say 99.5%. I would say it's easily over 80%, right? Easily over 80%. And so anyway, 99% of people on Earth, yeah, exactly. And so this is what happens with a lot of things. Our position.
What the fuck is with those eyebrows, dude? Like, that's like just straight Sharpie. Looks like straight Sharpie on there. It's just a fucking line on each side.
To take exactly.
Why brown
and
eyebrows?
So the
Why
idea
not
that like
blue?
these opinions are not popular or anything like that is just
Look
completely
at that.
untrue.
See? There you go. Right there. This fucking thumbnail and this headline. What the fuck is happening? I don't know what's happening, but you gotta click on it to find out what's happening. Fuck. Is there a bunch of these? I don't know. I don't watch Asmon that much, so like maybe this is his thing where like every week he has a fucking segment called "What the fuck is happening," or he's just really loves using this clickbait title.
It's completely and massively untrue, and yeah, I mean that's basically it. I mean it's not because they're getting views, but I think that it does matter though. I mean, and to Hassan's point, I think that it does make a difference that when I'm saying something and then a lot of other people see that, wait a minute, hold up, other people actually agree with this, right? This actually is true. It does cause a lot more people to say, well, actually, yeah, I do feel this way. Because for a long time, that entire perspective was censored from Twitter and Reddit and YouTube. And I think you can see that with COVID. Like, if you look at the way people discuss COVID now versus then, it's a totally different universe.
Dude, remember when COVID was out and they were like, "Oh, dude, you know, they're saying that this thing came from China, from Wuhan, from a lab," and like anywhere that was mentioned, people were just fucking getting banned. Boom, no, and then they had like doctors coming out and they're like, or maybe it was scientists. They were like examining the virus and they're like, "Bro, there's no way. This did not come from bats. This is guaranteed something that was created in a lab. There's no way for it to have all this shit in it without it being from a lab. Because there's like fucking shit from this species and that species. And these are like fucking scientists coming out and saying it, and they're not just like, oh, you know, some fucking random scientist. Like, these were people that had like written all these papers and were really fucking well established coming out and saying this, and they were fucking instantly banned, muted. And if you fucking quote them or post any of their videos, same goes for you. Banned, muted. No one's gonna find out about that shit. I mean, everyone knows. Come on. Unless you're on the left and you were chilling in a fucking echo chamber the last fucking six years, you know that was happening, dude. It was happening to everyone. And they were also coming out saying like, oh, if you don't get this experimental vaccine, you don't deserve to go outside. You don't deserve to go to a store. You should be a criminal. We should kill these people. They're all gonna die anyway. We should just kill them. Like, oh, dude, the fucking funniest thing I heard about the vaccine. Someone was comparing it like basically all these liberals were going out and getting the vaccine, and then they're like, oh, but you didn't get the vaccine, dude. You have to get it. And you're like, nah, I'm good. Like, I don't need it. You got the vaccine. It works, right? So you're cool. I'm no risk to you. You have the vaccine, right? So I don't need it. You already have it. And then they were fucking comparing it to like the liberals were like someone coaxed them into eating a piece of shit and told them like everyone's going to be eating shit. And they're like, you sure? Yeah, dude, everyone has to eat a piece of shit. So then they ate the fucking piece of shit, and then they're like, all right, dude, it's your turn to eat some shit. And the person's like, nah, dude, I'm not eating shit. That's fucking gross. And they're like, no, you have to, dude. You have to eat shit. And they're like, no, dude, I'm not going to eat shit. Like, I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. But, like, I was fucking told you would eat shit if I ate the shit, and I ate the shit. And it's like, sorry, dude, it's not going to fucking happen.
Anyway, we'll go to the next one here.
Yeah, let's go to the next one, dude.
This is, in many ways, no different than when Elon Musk hits the fucking Sig Heil, other people do it too, and it normalizes that kind of attitude. It normalizes that kind of politics.
Bro, come on, dude. Come on, dude. Do you really think he was hitting the fucking Sig Heil? I mean, if he was, I've seen the video. But, like, if he was going to be that brazen about it, I don't think he was going to do it multiple times. And there's plenty of Trump supporters that are not white. And if you're going to hit it, he should be saying Sig Heil, right? Like, you don't just fucking do it like a little pussy. Like, the people I've seen do it, they're normally fucking super loud about it.
And it's precisely the...
To be fair, just in case anybody was keeping count, I defended Elon Musk with doing that because I thought it was just an awkward action. Did I defend that pastor from doing the Sig Heil? Did I defend Steve Bannon from doing the Sig Heil? No, I didn't.
I didn't see that. So, from what I heard and from what I saw with the whole video in its context, Elon was saying, I give my heart to all of you in the crowd. And he was like so happy that they had won. And mind you, he's autistic too, so he's probably not thinking about that. But I didn't see the pastor, and I didn't see Steve Bannon, but I'd love to see that. Like, I'm probably going to look that up. Actually, I wonder if I could find that right now on YouTube. Let's see. I think that's... Let's see this shit.
The only way we don't have victory if we surrender. The only way that they win is we retreat. And we're not going to retreat. We're not going to surrender. We're not going to quit. Fight, fight, fight.
What the fuck?
Amen. God bless you. You are amazing. Bless you. You fight. Fight, fight, fight. Amen.
Yeah, dude. He fucking
God
totally
bless
did
you.
that.
You are amazing.
Like, I'd like to defend him, but
You've
that
honored
looked fucking
every
super
patriot in this.
suspicious. Let's take a look
Fight,
at that again.
fight, fight.
Look, he's like,
Fight,
he
fight.
like, watch his eyes when he does it. He kind of looks to the side, like, check this out, just like being a little sneaky about it. And then afterwards, he kind of looks around, like, did they like that? Watch this.
Fight.
Check this out. Oh, you guys like that? All right. Yeah,
Amen.
All right, cool.
God bless you. You are amazing. You've honored every patriot in this country, every patriot grade. You've honored them through your agency. This is all you.
That last one looked like he was kind of waving the crowd. Yeah, all my people. All of you. You should have been pointing, dude. Especially if that first one wasn't a Sikh Kyle, it looked like one. He should have been pointing. Let's see here. Pastor.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dave.
Who's the pastor that did it? Oh, he was imitating
A
him.
priest was stripped of his duties after making a controversial salute.
And my heart goes out to you.
Calvin Robinson led an Anglican Catholic Church congregation in Grand Rapids, Michigan. On social media, he expounds anti-Muslim, anti-LGBTQ, and anti-vaccine beliefs. Despite being British, he campaigned for Donald Trump. Robinson's right-wing views were on display as a commentator for the UK's conservative GB News. The channel fired him in 2023.
But we are obsessed with woke ideologies at the moment, even the church itself.
On January 25th, 2025, while on stage at the National Pro-Life Summit in Washington, D.C., Robinson said this.
So God bless all of you for what you're doing. Please keep doing it. I hope that I can encourage you, and my heart goes out to you. God bless.
Similar words and hand gestures that had
He knew what he was doing, and I don't know if he was doing it to troll or if he's just like, it seems like he was doing it to troll, but like, that was a fucking dumb idea, dude. Not surprised you got fired.
Because I thought it was intentional. So this is again a false equivalence. I've never said that. That doesn't mean that I'm like okay with all of it happening. I only said that it was okay because I didn't think Elon meant it that way. You should defend them? Well, I mean, the point that I was making with Elon is that I didn't believe that it was intentional. I didn't think that it was. I didn't think there was enough evidence to believe that. But yeah, you clearly didn't. Exactly. Anyway, we'll keep going. The Argentinian president also did it? Yeah, I never defended any of those.
Oh, he did? I want to see that. Did he do it, really? I don't see anything popping up for that.
Same thing that's
But
happening.
I mean, I clearly know about them, right? So I didn't talk about it.
Here, okay? Asmongold says a bunch of unhinged shit, and he's popping off.
I've never heard him say any fucking crazy shit. What the fuck?
And he's popping off.
Let's see it again.
Here, okay? Asmongold says a bunch of unhinged shit, and he's popping off.
I've never heard him say any fucking unhinged shit. I've never heard. Well, I mean, I don't watch him that much. I just started watching him maybe a month ago, but I've never heard him say anything unhinged. And I've listened to a lot of his political videos, but I've never heard anything that's like fucking completely unhinged. But if this guy's like a fucking hardcore lefty, then I'm sure everything's unhinged for him.
If you were to take a poll of the American public Or, hey, if you want to have it be even more in my favor, how about a poll from the whole population of the world? Who was more unhinged? Myself or this person in the video?
Oh. Well, that's... Come on, Asman. Obviously, the person in the video is going to be more unhinged. I thought you were going to say who's more unhinged, me or Hassan. That would have been interesting. Saying you are the person in the video, come on, dude. That's too easy.
I think that would be a very good day for me. That would be such an incredibly very good day for me.
No, it wouldn't, dude.
And so you don't have to ask. Everybody knows this.
Yeah, dude.
And
like,
so
we already know
the idea
answer,
that like
so
what I'm saying about
it's
these
not
people is
very
unhinged
interesting poll.
is outrageous. That's why these videos have received such good receptions. It's because a lot of people agree with it.
No. I mean, I do agree that a lot of people agree with it, but I don't think that's why these videos are popular. They're popular because Asman's popular right now, and because you have clickbait titles with clickbait thumbnails. People are going to click on it. That's the whole fucking point. And then once they're on it, they're probably going to keep watching it, because it is pretty fucking interesting to see these people losing their fucking minds. But it's not because you're saying something super interesting that they can't get anywhere else. You're just you're like the most popular source, you know?
Other content creators see that, as I've told you before.
And yeah, you're right. We did have the poll, like the election, which was, you know, again, I think that does stand to communicate a lot.
And they respond to it.
Wait, let me go back.
And he's popping off. Other content creators see that, as I've told you before, and they respond to it. They see.
Well, I think the alternative to what he's suggesting, the alternative to that is that I'm not allowed to express my opinion because me expressing my opinion would lead to other people expressing their opinion. Now, I'm of the viewpoint that it's best to allow myself to express my opinion and also for Hassan to express his opinion. I think that it's really important that we can get all of these ideas out there in the public, and then the people can make up their mind based off of what they think is the most compelling.
I think we should all express our opinions, and the way we should do it is like how they have those TikTok videos where it like starts off as one thing and then someone like steals that video and like clips themselves in there, and then someone steals that video and clips themselves in there, and it like just gradually grows. That's what we should do. But for this video that's going on right now with Amarath and Asman and Hassan and now me, and then people just need to keep adding on to it. And then once it gets to where everyone's picture is so tiny on the screen, it'll be like one of those art pieces where it makes a face of someone famous. And we should have it be like, if the popular opinion is for the right, then they should have, and that was a right, I was saying to the right, I wasn't throwing a Zeke Heil. If the popular opinion is for the right, then they should have a picture of like Donald Trump, little mosaic picture at the very end. And if it's for the left, they should have like Che Guevara or someone else. But I think that's basically what we should do. Almost kind of like when Reddit does that thing where it's like people get to like go in and edit. I think it's called Our Place, where they like get to edit all this shit in live time. We'll do that similar thing, but with a mosaic of opinions. And when it starts to get like too crowded, we could either like mute the background audio, or we'll just keep pausing it and then like taking time to talk, and eventually it'll be like the longest fucking YouTube video ever.
And so like the alternative to that is censorship. And I don't agree with that at all. I'm not a fan of that at all. It's free speech. Yeah, it is free speech. Now, again, like we can have two separate arguments, right? Who's breaking the Twitch terms of service and what I think the Twitch terms of service should be. Like there's a lot of things that basically I don't think you should get banned for basically anything except for breaking the law. So like for a lot of these cases, I would actually not really care about anybody getting banned. But at the same time, I don't think you can just ban everybody. I feel like this is a pretty good indicator, right? Banning everybody who disagreed with like COVID or who disagreed with like any woke policies, whatever you want to call it. Did that work? Well, apparently the election proved that it didn't. So,
Dude, okay, you know what I'd like to see? The exact opposite of what happened during COVID and and during those times where they were just like banning anyone that didn't have the same opinion. I'd now like to see these major platforms banning anyone that's on the left the way they do it to the right, because I just want to see the left flip out. Because I think they'll fucking lose it. Like, I think since came into office, we've all seen how fucking bad the left is just fucking losing it. There's a shitload of people that are like going unhinged. I think that's like the very far left, but still, you're seeing a lot of people fucking lose their shit. And I think that if they were treated the same way, they would fucking really lose their shit, dude. Because I'm telling you, there's nothing more annoying than you trying to make a point or give your opinion and you're waiting to see how the other side responds, and you're greeted with a message letting you know that you've been banned and that your account can no longer do anything except watch the content. You're not allowed to comment or post anything. I think if the left got that treatment, I'd like to see. I don't know. It's an experiment. I'd like to see how they react. I'm pretty sure they'll lose their shit, and it would be pretty fucking funny to watch.
as somebody, and like he's been on the internet for a really long time too, and so like we both remember like how the internet was like pre 2012, where it was like an anything goes situation, and looking.
I've been on the internet since the internet started, and I really miss the OG internet. I don't want to sound like an old fucking fart, but it was great. Like, even before MySpace was like, that came later. The internet was around before that shit. And what I really miss is logging into AOL and having your fucking friends list pop up, and it's just fucking full of people that you know, and you're just like basically texting them like, let's go fucking hang out. Or you'd be chatting with chicks that you know, and it was just way more convenient than text messages, because most people had fucking, they didn't have iPhones yet, and a T-Mobile Sidekick was probably like the most convenient phone. But initially people had like fucking Nokias, those fat bricks, and you'd have to like hit the same letter multiple times to text. So like you'd have to hit like 2, 2, 2 until the fucking letter B showed up, and then you'd have to hit like a different number a few times until the correct letter showed up to spell out your sentence. AOL was just so much easier. You just be like, boom, click on this person, type in their name, yo, let's go mob. All right, cool. And then you'd roll out. Or you'd hit up a chick and you're just like, what's going on? I miss those days. And back then, I don't even remember YouTube back then. I know YouTube came later, and I remember when YouTube first came out and it wasn't owned by Google. And before YouTube, I don't remember what we were using. I think it was just like random Flash videos that were embedded on websites. They would just host them themselves. I don't think Daily Motion or any of that shit was around. But I remember a lot of Flash video players. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And yeah, I think if we could just go back to those times of old school AOL chat messages and MySpace before it got super lame, like it was really cool learning HTML, but eventually it was for nothing because no one's gonna sit on your fucking page as long as you did learning how to fucking do HTML and program the right pictures and color font and icons and all that shit in there. So those good times.
Looking back and thinking, like, comparing that to now, has the censorship campaigns, have they made the internet a better place?
Dude, I'm
And
only
I
fucking
think-
halfway through this video. What time is it? What fucking time is it right now? Where the fuck's my phone? It's 11 o'clock. How long have I fucking been doing this for? I don't know. An hour. I've been doing this for a fucking hour. I'm just kind of trying this out. I wanted to do something funny, but like
The
I don't-
answer to
I
that
don't
is
know if I wanna
absolutely not.
dedicate this much of my time.
I think that they have not made the internet a
This
better
video.
place at all, and I think that they've
I'd rather
actively
go
made it
play
worse.
Some video games.
See that, and they go, "Ooh, I can get in on this as well."
Yeah.
I also think I'm going to invite some other people to do other sections of this video. Like maybe a burglar and like a cowboy. Just to get their opinions on shit. But I might not do it. I'm kind of lazy and I don't follow through on a lot of stuff. So I might just go play video games. But I'll give this a few more minutes. Hopefully they say something that is super interesting.
You know, have you ever considered that some of these people aren't grifting and that they actually do have the Hitlerian dog in them? It
Thinking these people are crazy doesn't make you Hitler.
doesn't matter. Whether they're grifting or not doesn't fucking matter. You can have a dude who has like unhinged fucking politics,
Yeah.
but ultimately their output is what is most important here, okay? If they have unhinged politics privately, it's usually going to come out. But what matters is what they're saying, because they're content creators. They have platforms, they have influence, they have prominence, they have audience members.
Yeah, but like the problem with that is like saying that the only people that should be able to express their opinion are people who you agree with or people you think that like they have the right opinions. I think that's a very dangerous road to go down.
And it's a fucking very uninteresting road to go down.
It is, and I think that the people that do go down that road oftentimes were leading the campaigns to have Hassan deplatformed. They're the same ones, it's just that they see that argument from a different perspective. I think that the only way to look at this in a healthy way is to value freedom of speech, let people put their ideas out there, let it be known to the free marketplace of ideas, and the people will decide what they think is in their best interest. And they won't always make the right decisions, but I think that they have the right to make the decisions for themselves, and they'll probably make better decisions than some, unelected council of moderators in San Francisco.
Who love them. They have audience members who will be swayed by their attitude. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit if they're genuinely, in this regard, I don't give a shit if they're genuinely...
Who's swaying society to think a certain way? Everyone who's talking about politics is trying to sway people to think about it the way that they think about it. Obviously, people discuss things and they talk about things in persuasive ways because they want other people to, take on that same viewpoint.
I agree with that, but also I think it's everyone's responsibility to see that other perspective on their own. Like, I was a hardcore Democrat for a long time. Didn't know why. I was just a Democrat because my family was all Democrats. And I actually worked for the Democratic Party for a while um, registering voters in California, and basically we would just like pile into a van from headquarters, and they'd be like, all right, cool, you're gonna hit this neighborhood. Here's a map of the neighborhood. Here's a map that shows who's unregistered. Go to their door. If they're Democrats, register them. If they're not Democrats, don't register them. And I mean, so I did that for a while, and I mean, I was all about it, but the Democratic Party, it's either not the same as it used to be, or it's just more blatant now, the shit that they're doing. And honestly, it's not even like, from my point of view, Asmon's right? I am trying to fucking convince people to, to think my way. But as someone who's been on both sides, my point of view is it doesn't matter if it's Democrat or Republican. And if you watch the TV and you're not watching Trump and you're watching something that shows like Obama, who's a Democrat, Hillary Clinton, who's a Democrat, Bill Clinton, who's a Democrat, and they're just chilling with fucking George Bush, who's a Republican, and whoever else is fucking Republican. They're all hanging out. Like, it's fucking fake, dude. It's like, I don't want to say wrestling because I don't want to piss people off, and I don't watch a lot of wrestling, but like, it's like a fucking soap opera, dude. And really, they're all playing the game. They have to pick teams, but they're all in it for themselves. They're all in it for their group. They're gonna get fucking paid. They're gonna abuse the taxpayer. They're gonna take advantage where they can, and they're all gonna get paid for it. So they're all on the same fucking team. That's the way I see it. It doesn't really matter if it's Democrat or Republican. Now, where Trump comes in, he's not a career politician. The guy was already fucking loaded. He didn't have to run for presidency. And when he started running for the presidency, he was trying to run under the Democratic ticket. But the Democrats wouldn't let him have it because it was her turn, right? And then they did the same shit with Bernie. Bernie was the fucking next up, right? He for sure had the votes. People wanted Bernie on the left, and they wouldn't give it to him because it's her turn. But it's fucking bullshit, dude. The reason Trump went to the Republican side is because he couldn't go for the Democratic side. They weren't going to give him a fair fucking shake. And then once the Republicans took him because they were like, well, fuck, we need him. And mind you, when I say, they're all in the same team, I don't want to say it's every Democrat or every Republican. There's like an inner posse of these fucking people that have, you can tell just by looking who it is, okay? They're all fucking buddies. They're all related somehow. And, yeah, they're all in it together. And they just want to take advantage where they can, whether that's insider trading or fucking just laundering money through fucking NGOs and getting kickbacks. They're all for it. And when Trump came in, he's a fucking outsider. So really, I don't see it like just Democrats versus Republicans. That's bullshit. I see it as Democrats, Republicans, and then there's a third party in the middle, and that's Trump's party. And I know they want to. It's MAGA, right? But really, that's just like something to trigger people. Just, it could be any other fucking name. It's an outsider. You're tired of the fucking bullshit from the left. You're tired of the bullshit from the right. Doesn't matter who's in power. You can tell nothing's changing. Nothing positive's coming out of it. Like, remember when Obama ran? His big thing was change. They had posters of him fucking with his face in red, white, and blue from the side and shit. It's like a cartoon. And it's change. Ain't nothing fucking changed. Nothing changed. Shit was still bad, getting worse. And that's why Hillary didn't win. Because people knew that wasn't going to be change. That was going to be the same old fucking bullshit. And the same thing for the Republican side. If Trump hadn't ran, I don't know who else was up. Fucking Jeb Bush or someone. Like, come on. Nothing would have changed if Jeb Bush would have won either. It would have been the same shit. We wanted a fucking outsider. We got an outsider. And people that are fucking brainwashed, it could be the left or the right. It don't fucking really matter. But the left seems to be the loudest about it. But people that are fucking brainwashed, they don't see that. They don't see him as an outsider. They see what they're told to see. He's fucking Hitler. He's a Nazi. You gotta get this guy. Oh, he's been a Nazi. It just started being a Nazi very recently once we decided we don't want him to win the election. He's an outsider. He's not part of our group. So everyone needs to freak out about him. No. I'm telling you. He's an outsider. And guess what? Guess what? Eventually, Trump was out of the White House. And the left got their guy. They got Biden. And how was that? How was that for everybody? I'm sure it was good for people that were more concerned about putting their gender in their bio. But if besides shit like that happening, if you were concerned about the amount of money you were making or the amount of inflation, like, you could see shit didn't change. There was no fucking change. There was no outsider. It was the same fucking cabal of people pulling the same shit, lining their own fucking pockets. Look at fucking COVID. When COVID happened, so many fucking politicians on the right and left made so much fucking money, and they knew it was coming, right? Because you're not gonna fucking turn some crazy profit on buying fucking stocks in big pharma after the fucking shit's already hit the fan, because then everyone's buying it. It's gonna be more expensive. No, they got in early. They knew this shit was coming, right? It wasn't a fucking surprise. And that's another thing. Remember, you couldn't say, oh, Fossey or the fucking Wuhan lab. Like, they knew about this shit coming. And they took advantage of it. They lined their fucking pockets. It's the same shit, dude. They've been doing it for fucking ever. And you have an outsider now. And they're fucking pissed. And what do? How do they convince people that he's the fucking worst person in the world? Censorship on social media platforms. And a very fucking biased media. That's it. And who do you think fucking owns the media companies? The people that are already fucking loaded and wealthy that want to be able to keep sticking their hands in the fucking cookie jar without getting caught. So if Trump's the guy that's going to catch them and he's going to stop that from happening, they're going to throw as much shade his way as they can. And you've seen it happen. Have you ever seen in your lifetime them attack another president the way they did Trump? No. Okay? It didn't happen. And the reason you should know it's bullshit is because they didn't attack him before he ran for president. If he was a fucking piece of shit this whole fucking time, and mind you, people thought he was an asshole because he had his TV show where he was like, you're fired, you're fired, you're fired. But no one was like, we gotta fucking murder this guy. He's a fucking Nazi. None of that came around until he ran for presidency. Until they realized, fuck, this guy's gonna win. We have to find ways to get him out of there. Everyone fucking dogpile on this motherfucker. Anyway, he lost his presidency. Biden got in. Nothing fucking changed. Now he's president again. Left's losing their shit. And I really, really fucking hope that this time around he's able to fucking clean house and, like, get rid of all these fucking career politicians on the left and the right. Like, the cabinet he chose, he didn't fucking just pick people that were on the right. As a matter of fucking fact, there's people in his cabinet now that are Republicans, but really, they weren't fucking Republicans. They were Democrats not too long ago, like within the last few years. But the left veered so fucking far left that anyone that was a fucking moderate, they said, fuck it, dude. They're not going to fucking let me hang. I'm not part of their inner circle, so I'm going to fucking go over here where we can clean house. Those are the people on the outside I was talking about. Not everyone's in the cabal. And the people that were on the outside that are trying to actually make change and they know it's fucking bullshit, Well, there's only one guy that's trying to fucking actually clean house. That isn't a career politician. That doesn't need the fucking money. And that's where they went. Like Tulsi Gabbard and who else? There's gotta be more than Tulsi. Oh, RFK. RFK also, dude. Tulsi Gabbard and fucking RFK were both Democrats. And the same thing, they did the same thing with RFK that they did with fucking Bernie. They weren't even gonna give him a shot. It's fucking dumb. Oh, and also don't forget, they never had any primaries for Kamala. They just fucking inserted her and figured everything's gonna be cool. All right, that's me convincing you.
On board with these politics, or if they're just simply doing it for the grift.
Let's see if is there another one? Yeah, there's another one. Asan keeps playing Destiny fans. Sex Destiny fans spread fake bullshit on a Reddit group. They think control moderation. Then they get shocked and get pushed a lot of randoms, margins, politics of a right-winger. Wonder why Asmon's fans use the exact same language they use about me being a radical. Well, I don't think this is really fair either. Why Asmon's fans use the exact same language they use about me being a radical. Well,
but yeah, he's right about fucking the Reddit group literally controlling the moderation. Like, if moderators want to keep it one way, they're going to keep it one way. Any dissenting views, you're out of there. No open discussions. It's not free speech on Reddit.
I think that every single person will come to the answer of 4 when you look at a question, which is, what is 2 plus 2? When you bring on somebody who is a terrorist, you introduce them as a terrorist, and then people say that you're a terrorist supporter, I think that you're going to obviously have that reaction because that's the thing that you're doing. So maybe the reason why people from different communities are coming to the same conclusion about the things that you're doing is because that is, in fact, what you're doing. Like, am I crazy? Like, if you show 100 people a picture of an apple, almost every single person's going to say it's an apple. Let's see what the rest one is. There's 2 of these. And where's the other one? Some of them are libs who hate Asmon's politics. They just hate me more because their politics are primed but by what Epstein says, and hates me, and he hates Asmon. This is some fucking, like, this is some Game of Thrones shit. Like, I don't know about that, right? But anyway, yeah, this is between them. I'm not even gonna get involved with that. You can't reason with extremists. Well, I'm not trying to change anybody's, like, I'm not trying to change people's minds that are extremists. I'm trying to just look at it in a way that is fair and balanced. Now, obviously, everybody has biases. I have biases, you have biases, everybody has biases. But I try to be fair. I try to be fair, I try to be accurate. XQC talked about this as well. Here we go.
People voted for Trump, right? Okay. Bro, regardless of what people saying, okay? Look at the amount of votes. Imagine saying it. The general population feels this way, but then the general population votes a different way. And you're like, well, I think you're just wrong.
There's a little bit of nuance to this, which is that a plurality of people voted for Trump, not a majority. So Trump did not receive 50% or more of the general public's votes, but a lot of people don't vote, period. So, like, like what XQC is saying is like, it's like technically wrong, but spiritually right. You know, it's effectively correct. That, like, it's very clear that, like, Trump's viewpoint is more popular than the other person's viewpoint. Because if the other person's viewpoint, like Kamala Harris or Biden's viewpoint, would have been more popular, they would have had more people to vote for them. But there is a good amount of people who are just simply indifferent or they don't want to vote for whatever reason. But yeah, I mean, Trump did win the popular vote for the first time in 20 years. The last time that a Republican won the popular vote was Bush in 2004, and that was right off the heels of September 11th, which basically turned USA into Helldivers 2. So yeah, big surprise. If you don't vote, don't complain. Everybody's going to complain. That's not really a waste of time to talk about.
It's like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. You don't fucking vote, and your guy loses, then that's on you. You should have voted. You don't play the game, then you don't play the game.
That was Reagan. No, Reagan also, I think, won the popular vote, but I was saying the most recent time that a Republican has won the popular vote before now was Bush in 2004. I could be wrong about that, but I think that's true. Bush got it most recently. Yeah.
I mean, what are we talking about here? I'm confused.
Yep.
You cannot say the general population doesn't like this, and then the general population votes for somebody to be in office that holds those views. So who are you talking to? Like,
yeah, I think that for a long time there was a manufactured consensus of, like, I would say extreme left-wing opinions that was created by a censorship apparatus through social media, Hollywood, and just in general all types of mainstream popular media. And I think that, again, the way that like really broke that dam was Elon Musk buying Twitter. When Elon Musk bought Twitter and kind of let everybody loose, then everybody started seeing all of the flaws, and they started saying, hey, actually, no, we're not this tiny, extreme minority. There's actually more of us than there are of them. And so, acts with common sense, exactly. So, yeah, I think that there was a manufactured far-left consensus that happened, and Trump winning is a direct result of that manufactured consensus being challenged. And I think that challenge came from the beginning, Twitter being bought by Elon Musk.
who is the general population? Is it the residents of California? Is it the big cities' online personalities?
Well, yeah, and in California, they voted against Trump. Collectively, more people voted, and Hassan's in California, right? So, like, around there, yeah. No.
Oh, Hassan's in California. What's up, Hassan? What up, bro? Where you at? California's elections, I don't know, dude. They're kind of fucking fishy, if you ask me.
Nobody.
Like, put it this way. They fucking got Gavin Newsom, and they wanted to recall him, and then they didn't recall him. The guy sucks, dude. They've taken billions of dollars to build this fucking speed rail system, and they haven't done shit. People in California do not want him, and they couldn't get him out on a recall. It's bullshit, dude. The fucking voting over here is fucking rigged.
Nobody likes Trump. I'm in Austin, Texas. Austin, Texas. Like, if I go to LA, I'm basically in the same place. Like, LA is very similar to Austin in terms of, like, demographics, population, etc. The only thing that's different about LA is that gas is about twice as much.
People that are on Facebook? Is it the Twitter Andes? No. Stop saying the general population. That's just what it is.
Really give a shit about politics.
People voted.
Let me see. We'll go to the other one. Is he talking about me?
Yeah, I disagree. I think holding the view that is the more popular does give you the more popularity. I think another little hint of projection. If you hold leftist views in areas that are very outrage heavy and leftist, you get a lot of notoriety and you get a lot of appraisal. And his takes are extremely popular and are always in the center of what public opinion likes. And he speaks loudly.
So true. He's so right. God, so true.
About what people like, and he's just gonna glaze public opinion.
He's talking about me, by the way.
Explain how that doesn't apply to him. Wait, no, they're not. They are extremely like public opinion glazing. What?
Yep. No, I do. I mean, a lot of my opinions and perspectives come, they're the shared opinions of a lot of people. Absolutely. Very, very true. And,
well, yeah, I mean, I don't think Asmon's one of those people that's just trying to, like, please people. He's not just saying what he's saying because he wants people to like him. He just has a really common opinion.
I think that's the case
yeah.
for a lot of things, and I feel like it's.
Regardless of what we were
Just
saying.
a second, let me make sure that I.
Look at the amount of votes.
Oops, 1 second. Let me make sure that I follow the rest of this. Oh God. Oh God. It's still going on. And so here's really the main difference between myself and a lot of the people that are disagreeing with me and a lot of the people that complain about me. The main difference between the two of us is that when Amarath pops off and says something like what she said, I have no hesitation and no reservation about saying that it's not good, it's bad to say that you hope that the people that you don't like or you think are crazy, which I don't like them and I do think they're crazy, but I don't wish for them to be caught on fire in the LA fires. I think that that's too much over the line and I don't support that. So the problem is that while people that are of my perspective are willing to rein in and call out extremism, bad actors, and bad opinion, and this doesn't make Amarath a bad person. She could have had a bad day. It's just how it is, right? I mean, that's how it is. And again, I'm not trying to crucify her either. I'm just saying I don't agree with that opinion. I think it's a bad opinion to have, and I don't think people should be talking about things that way, right?
I mean, that's a pretty fucking common sense opinion. And it's not like it's unpopular opinion. A lot of people don't think you should just burn everybody you disagree with. That's pretty extreme. Again, I don't think that's a uncommon opinion. You're not really going out on an edge there, fucking, to come up with that opinion. It's common sense. Most people don't want to just burn other people because they don't agree with them.
I don't like it. So the problem is that a lot of the people that do this are unwilling to call out bad actors in their group. I am more than willing to call out bad actors in my group because I don't view myself as really part of that group to begin with. I made the video about Elon Musk. He got mad about me. I've made bad videos about Trump. I've criticized Trump's stance on Ukraine multiple times, and I've had no problem with that. So this is what's always been happening, and I've covered everything. So I've been fair about everything that I can be.
Alrighty, this is fucking boring. I'm gonna go play some games now. So, cool. Check you later, bros.